Hey, Beechcraft here. Um, I'm in the wrong place. Here, let me get where I'm supposed to be. All right, that's better. Now we can get started. Hey, Beechcraft here, and today I want to show you some of the things I've been working on my base. Obviously, been hard at work building a giant bridge. I don't know if I'm 100% satisfied with how it's turned out or the style that it's done in. However, I am happy to have it there. I'm happy with its shape. What I do want to show you today is actually under the water. Previously, we looked at this flat area right here. I've since added a grid of dark prismarine, and I am going to revisit this later, but over the last couple of weeks, I started to dig a giant pit, a giant hole that goes deep, very deep underwater. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we have down here. Every time I find a geode, I want to keep it because I just can't stand to destroy them. So I kept this one here floating in the middle of the water, and it's just quite pleasant inside. I really do like the sound it makes, and this may turn into a nice little geode farm that I can come and gather every once in a while. What I wanted to show you from in here, however, is this view right here. While you're under the water, you can't see this in its entirety because the water is murky. But from in here, looking into the water, you can actually see that I've built an ocean monument at the bottom of this giant pit. Let's go take a look. And here you can see the entrance of the ocean monument that's built. As you walk out of this wall of water, you can look behind and see up to the surface. As soon as our night vision fades away, it's going to be a little different. Oh, but it still looks pretty cool. I like that. You've got some glow squid out in the distance. This is an underground portion of my base, and I haven't decided 100% what I'm going to use this structure for. From the top of the structure, you can see the sandstone walls built around here. And dropping down to the entrance, I can show you, whoops, the entire inside is open, and I am planning on building more in here once I get the chance. The main feature is this completely unopened geode. I'm not planning on opening it at this point, but it is kind of cool. I don't think I've come across that very often. Now, swimming up through the water does take some time, and we might go that way later. But there's a faster way up. This beacon right here is actually at the center of the base, and I can rocket to the top. Let's head back over to our underground ocean monument. Right through this hole, you can drop all the way down and not take any damage. So we land in this little bit of water that's perfectly aligned with that hole. All right, we're back to the surface. And this is actually where we're going to be working today. You can kind of see this circle that's been created by making a dirt path. This inner circle needs to be entirely dug out to accommodate the build that I'm going to work on next. You can see it better from the sky to kind of get an idea of the scale. It is a good portion of the base that needs to be dug out, or at least a good portion of the ground. And it's going to take a little bit of time. So instead of having you guys sit through the drudgery, ouch. And instead of making you guys sit through the drudgery, digging this out, let's do it this way. And just like that, thousands and thousands of blocks have been removed. I spent many, many hours digging this hole and clearing out this section to start working on the base. I know it's very plain right now, but hopefully with a little bit of work, we're going to be able to fit some really cool rooms in here, storage rooms, libraries, museum type stuff, bedrooms. This is going to be the center of the base. While I was digging that hole, I took some breaks collecting resources. I have some shulker boxes here filled with concrete of all kinds, mainly two kinds actually, and some lighting. We're going to be putting that down in just a minute. But before I get to that, there's something very special that I have been holding off on. Something that I've been advised would be best for gameplay and for durability and for attack power. That's right. I need to turn this diamond sword into a netherite sword. And I'm going to do that right now. I do have to say, the smithing table has gotten a lot more difficult to use. With the most recent update, it's changed so that now you need smithing templates in order to upgrade your gear. And so this little upgrade, although it doesn't seem like much, whoops, sorry about the view there. Although it doesn't seem like much, it actually took quite a while because I needed to go to the Nether and I needed to explore and find a bastion that I'd never been to, and then find a smithing template. Now, I do have a smithing template. Oh, where did I put it? Okay, yes. So these are all the things that I got while I was in the bastion. I did find 3 smithing templates for a netherite upgrade, as well as snout armor trim. That'll be cool. A couple of discs. I got a snout banner pattern, some gilded blackstone, ancient debris, a couple other various equipment. But I am going to go ahead and use one of these smithing templates. This is the first time I've ever done it. Before this, upgrading to netherite just required an ingot and the sword or whatever you were upgrading. But this is an extra step now that you have to take. Makes it a little bit more special to have netherite, but also costs quite a bit more. Before I do that, though, I almost forgot. I need to duplicate this thing because I don't want to lose them. So the way you duplicate it, for each one, there's actually a material you can use to help duplicate it. So this one happens to be netherrack, and then 7 diamonds. The cost is high, but we're going to duplicate it so that when I use one, we still have one left over. I don't want to run out of these because then I'm going to have to go find more. So to upgrade our gear here, I'm going to put, oh, that's the repair. That's right here, the smithing table. You put the smithing template here. Then I'm going to put this sword here and throw on the netherite ingot. And that will give me a netherite sword with 13 attack damage instead of 12. You were totally right. So now I'm going to throw a name on here. We're going to call it Pico. It's going to cost 16 levels, but it's my most powerful sword, and I think it's worth it. So now I should be able to defend myself while we're doing this build. All right, enough chit chat. I actually need to get to work on this build, and you'll probably notice as we go through, it's going to be plain at first, and I apologize for that, but I need to get the blocks down so that I can start designing the inside and get a little bit more details once I get it down. So as the sun sets, let's prepare for a little bit of a time lapse. And after many hours of work, I finally have a starter base. I'm only kidding. This thing is massive, and I want to show you the inside and show you all the progress that's been made. So now we can go take a look at some of the details inside what I'm referring to as the hub. This is the center of my base and the center of my operations, and so the hub is a good name for it. In the entrance here, I have some waterlogged leaves covering some lights. That prevents mobs from spawning out here and on the roof. See, up these stairs have the same waterlogged lighting. Around the edges, of course, I have some windows to let some natural light in, but I also have leaves covering some lighting. This lighting is on moss carpet, which gives it a little bit of a different effect. All right. You saw me build this great floor, and it is currently the only flooring that's been done in here. But this area, I'm intending to be the main entrance in the main room for storage. I will be building out my storage chests and organizing that in a way, hopefully, that's easy to understand, easy to find things. I'm really excited to get started, but as you'll notice, most of this interior is very plain at this point. I needed to get the main structure up so that I could start working on the details inside. I have 5 doors, these ones that you can see now and the one I'm standing in. That will help me hopefully move around the base a lot faster. I do plan on finishing out more down here with a lot more details to make that interesting and maybe even useful. But at this point, that was enough work that I couldn't complete it at this time. I do have an upper floor here. You can see these are the 2 entrances on this upper floor. We've changed the lighting a bit throughout the entire base. In my video or my time lapse, you might have seen that I was putting some lighting behind stairs, but that didn't end up working out for the exterior where it wasn't covered by the ground. And I wanted to be able to have lighting on the upper levels in the same way. I also dug down a little bit further over here so we can have another tall room here on the lower floor. We have some natural lighting coming in through the center and an underwater ocean view coming from that window right there. During the building of the hub, I was able to capture one more hostile mob, and I wanted to show him to you. Here he is, right here. I actually gave him the name The Child. That's kind of like Star Wars, but he is one feisty guy. Even though there's not a lot of details and all my supplies are elsewhere, I think now is the perfect time to officially move into my new base. But in order to do that, to make a Minecraft house or base your own, you need a couple of things. I need a crafting table and, of course, a bed. So now, here's my spawn point, and I've officially moved in to the new base. Thank you so much for watching. That's all I have time for right now. I hope you'll come back and see when I have some more details and I get some things moved around. It's really exciting for me to have this structure done. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Have a great day. Oh yeah, there we go. Using the new sword. Let's take these guys out.